Pony, and welcome back to another Pony Talk podcast on a Tuesday, guys. No, this was not supposed to happen again, but it did. As you are all aware, I am your lovely host, Dashi101, back from Cedar Point, guys, here to report. I did enjoy myself very much. Yeah, it was very interesting, but exhausting. Let me tell you, I am still, to this day, tired from that trip, but it was great. I will have a video on it. I did get some footage, guys, so don't worry. It's gonna take a little bit because I did record a lot, and this week, guys, I got a little bit of news before we dive right into today's episode, or this week's episode. I am probably not going to be recording any videos for this week. Yeah, that was a tough thing to chew or bite. Yeah. Guys, the reason is because I am literally pinching pennies to get this one video done. This is very important, and guys, just bear with me. It'll be alright. I am going to release more content. It's just, give me this 1 week. I know, guys, that's a lot to ask, but please, just cope with me, please. It helped me out a lot, and I will make it up to you guys. But, on that note, let's get into this week's episode. We have episode 10 of Season 8, so our 10th episode. We have The Breakup Breakdown. Very good title, and let me tell you this, guys. If you remember last week's episode, we talked about Season 8, Episode 9, which was a non-compete clause. And as you are all aware, me and Rainbow, I think, or what? No, it was Mobius. Rainbow joins me a lot, so that's why I said. Yes, Mobius, me and Mobius discussed that episode, and both of us were very disappointed because the characters, Applejack and Rainbow Dash, compete through all this crazy nonsense and all that, and they're supposed to be helping the students and setting good role models. And we thought we went through this, and it seemed like it just came back to, I don't know what that was, but it was really starting to get annoying at the end, and I was very displeased with that. So, but the creators or writers came back with a great episode, guys. This one has a little bit of romance in it, since this is a Hearts and Who's Day special. So, yes, aka Valentine's Day special. Yes. So, let's begin in this week's episode, guys. Alrighty. So, the episode begins with Big Macintosh baking a pie for Sugar Belle. And this is for, of course, Hearts and Hooves Day, as we've mentioned. So, and also Spike is there. I forgot to mention Spike. You gotta have Spike in it. They are very impatient for this pie. It's taking too long, so they call in Discord and kind of tricked him into, because he wasn't coming when they were calling his name, and this is where they said, we kind of need you, Discord, to poof up this pie so it's baked and ready, and we can send it off to delivery for Sweetie Belle, or Sugar Belle, Sweetie Belle. Yeah, so, as they did it, they have this Big Mac decided to put a card in the cake, bake it all in there, and Discord kind of reads it and all that, and he's like, oh, okay, I don't understand this whole love thing. Like, why are you ponies so involved with this whole love thing? Like, what is it? What is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. No, I'm joking. Copyrighted. But yes, we won't sing any more of that. Yeah, so Discord is kind of like bleh, this whole love thing. It sounds complicated, and it doesn't even sound like anything really too much. But little does he know, Spike tries to tell him, you know, like, hey, it is a big deal. And if you did not feel like that, you wouldn't have these true feels around Fluttershy all the time. And this was really funny to me that they added that, because he's right. Discord does go to Fluttershy's a lot for tea parties. And if he really didn't have a heart, well then he wouldn't be doing that. But that was a very, very funny little thing they added for Spike. Ultimate roast there. So yeah, now Discord's like, okay, yeah, you got me on that. So let's send out this pie. Well, apparently, as we see, Big Mac hands the package to Derpy Hooves, who is running, I guess, one of the delivery helpers there, and she accidentally mixes the package up that wasn't supposed to go. So the package ends up coming back to Sweet Apple Acres, and the Cutie Mark Crusaders now get a hold of this pie. So this turns into a whole giant thing. Sweetie Belle thinks it's directed to her because the address is all smudged due to, you know, packaging. When packages are sent, it's smeared and all that. So there was a bell on it, so Sweetie Belle thinks that it is her secret admirer. Which later out, we find out that is not the case, and it was sent, not supposed to come back to Sweet Apple Acres. So, now the Cutie Mark Crusaders must set out to find Sweetie Belle's special Sun Pony who supposedly sent this package. And they kind of look around and all that. Meanwhile, Discord, Spike go in the bushes, and Spike wants to give a little bit of guidance to Discord, showing him, hey, let me show you what love is all about, because it is awesome. This is, like, phenomenal. So, does that, they go in the bush, and we hear Sweetie Belle come out of Sugar Cube Corner, and Big Mac is got hearts in his eyes running towards. Now, he hears or overhears a conversation that Mrs. Cake and Sugar Belle, and I think I said Sweetie Belle again, pardon me, Sugar Belle have talking amongst each other, and Big Mac kind of eavesdrops on their conversation, as what is used in the episode, and he hears things like, I don't think I'm going to be meeting him, and I hope he's not going to be disappointed. And this really upsets Big Mac. And then she says the two big words that anyone who is in a relationship will really fall and collapse. She says the whole "we're done" thing. And this really sets off Big Mac. Now, back at Sweet Apple Acres, Spike, Discord, and Big Mac are back at Sweet Apple Acres, and Big Mac is not looking good. He is bawling his eyes out because of just everything that Sugar Belle here has said. It really was not helpful at all. So, Discord then tries to come in and ring in and kind of help Big Mac and say, hey, you know, love seems very stressful. Let me show you what's better than love. And kind of puts like a little bar thing together and all that. And he's like, you know, Big Mac, you don't need love. You just need us. You need some guy time. And, you know, it's nice that Discord is doing this and all, but it's not enough. It is not enough for this heartbroken relationship that Big Mac was very unaware of and supposedly took in the wrong way. So, now that they're talking, Spike kind of chimes in and says, Discord, this is not the way to do it. You know, we kind of got to figure this out, you know, it just happened, and look at Big Mac, he's devastated. You can't let this happen. And Discord's like, well, let's play some Ogres and Obaltees, I think it's called. Hold me on that. Big word there. And Spike's like, nah, I can't, no. Now Discord kind of gets this idea that, sort of in Big Mac's head, this is when they hide in the barn, to wait for, Sugar Belle, because they think she's coming in the barn, which is not. It's the Cutie Mark Crusaders. They are still trying to figure out who that special Sun Pony sent to Sweetie Belle. So they set up a whiteboard and all that. Big Mac kind of comes out and says, like, hey, girls, I need you to leave. There's something going on. And they kind of question, ooh, where's Sugar Belle? Where did she go? And he's just like, out, get out. And, yeah. So they are very confused. And then this is where Big Mac kind of goes a little off on Sweetie Belle. And ends up making her kind of cry. And then Big Mac realizes, Sweetie Belle, I didn't mean to say that. It's just, I'm very upset at what has happened recently. And I didn't mean to say that to you. And Sweetie Belle cheers up and she's like, it's okay, Big Mac. You know, I understand. I'm kind of upset with something too. But, like, you know, kind of ease down just a bit, bud. I hope everything's alright. So, now, the Cutie Mark Crusaders kind of go back to, what they're doing, and then Discord kind of rings a chime, into Big Mac when, they kind of... Okay, let's go back, because now I'm kind of confusing things. Before Big Mac did all that, he was hiding in the barn, and then this is where Discord kind of sat on his shoulders, told him, hey, you know, instead of her breaking the news, why don't you do it? And so, he kind of does that, and I forgot that whole one scene. He goes out and tells Sugar Belle, you know what, before you say it, we're done, all that. And Sugar Belle is, like, really confused, even though we heard her say that's not what she was doing. That was targeted for some other pony else, which was her brother in this case. So, yeah. But after that whole thing where Big Mac gets upset at the Cutie Mark Crusaders and tells them to leave, and then breaks Sweetie Belle's heart, and then says, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. Let's fix this. And then Big Mac starts to get an idea, runs off or trots off, and goes to find Sweetie Belle, or Sugar Belle, sorry. These names are too close, so I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. But now, when she meets up with Sugar Belle, she's over here with her broken down little cart that she was carrying supplies for Mrs. Cake. And Big Mac comes in and helps her out of the mud. It says, hey, you know, if you break up with me and stuff, you know, it's fine. But I just want to tell you that I really do care about you. And I hope you know that. And this is where Sweetie Belle's, or Sugar Belle, then says, Big Mac, I said nothing like that. And he's like, wait, you didn't? She's like, yeah. Why did you think that? He's like, well, you see, I kind of hid in some bushes, and then kind of eavesdropped on your conversation. He's like, yeah, this sounds bad. And then he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, well, I'm glad that everything's figured out. And he was like, well, then what was that whole thing with, you know, saying that you didn't need me or you were done? And she was like, oh, I was talking about my brother. You know, he comes to the village and to deliver baked goods, and I don't need him anymore because I'm going to be helping out Mrs. Cake at Sugar Cube Corner in Ponyville. And he was very ecstatic to that. And then Big Mac questions, did you get the pie? She says, no, I didn't get the pie. And this is where he's like, well, I got a surprise for you, and takes her to the barn. Now, while Big Mac's on his way to the barn, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are now this pie, kind of wondering, kind of eating it. Well, Sweetie Belle takes a piece, of course, with the invitation, as we mentioned earlier, and then finds out, oh my god, this is not for any special Sun Pony. This is to Sugar Belle. And the Kingdom Crusaders are confused, and Sweetie Belle is like, phew. For a second there, I thought there was actually some pony who wanted me, and then, like, I thought I was leaving them and, like, worrying them, but now I don't have to worry anymore. Yay! So, all's good, and, yeah. So, that happens, and, then they kind of laugh over it and all that, and then at the end of, well, basically the day, Spike tells Discord that he thought, you know, that, you see, love is a real thing. It is. Yeah, as you can see, they bonded back together. And Discord is then again not listening about the whole love thing, and he's over here making a bottle. It looks like a bottle, and ship in a bottle, but it wasn't. It was a wagon in a bottle. And he was like, "Who do you think broke Sugar Belle's wheel off her wagon?" This is where Spike's like, "Oh, so you do care?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, you know, it's there, but you know, I was just trying to help out Big Mac." And it was very sweet of him. So now, both of them, well, Discord asks, does he want to play some ogres and Uber-Ts? Uber, I can't say that. Uber, what the heck? Uber-Ts, I think. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I only heard it a couple of times in the episode. But, Spike's like, oh, you bet. And then that's where the episode cuts off. Guys, yeah, that is an episode right there. Yes, a lot better than last week's episode. I'm just gonna say that there were still some good parts. Okay, I'm not gonna fully hate on episode 9, but there was a lot that needed to be changed, and that definitely was a filler episode. I know it. This episode might have been a filler too, who knows, but I could say is definitely better than last week's. So yeah, guys, there it is, all explained out for you guys, and my final thoughts, excellent. I loved it, you know? We don't really get too many Hearts and Hooves Day episodes out there, and it's really nice to see a new one, and especially that bond between Big Mac and Sugar Belle. So, yeah, and it was kind of cute, you know, that Spike was helping out Discord, and the Kingdom Crusaders were trying to help Sweetie Belle find the special Sun Pony, even though it was a mixed up delivery. So yeah, very good episode, very tasteful. I hope I see more episodes like this, guys. I really like these cute little episodes. I don't like stuff that's very cheesy and cliche. It's just not me, and I don't think it's you guys, but I mean, if you like that stuff, well then, awesome. Then it's for you. But that's all we have for this, guys. If you did like this episode, let us know in the comments below of the podcast. It will help me out a lot to let know what you guys think of the episode, and yeah, it's awesome. I love hearing your guys' responses on these podcasts and what you thought. It's what makes the podcast a podcast, guys. That's why we are here today, and I know I mentioned this before, but ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, I apologize for the very, very small lack of videos, but just give me this week, guys. Just give me this week. I might upload one video, who knows, just because I'm that type of a nice of a guy, and I don't like to disappoint you guys. So, on that bombshell, thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a like, share with your friends, and also don't forget to subscribe, guys. And, well, until then, we will see you all in the next Pony Talk podcast come episode 11, we have Meltdown is our next episode for episode 11. Alright guys, I will see you then. Thank you all so much for watching this Pony Talk podcast. And we will see you in the next one, guys. Peace out. Bye, everybody!